good, guys? Welcome to your Daily Dose. I'm Kara, and today is Hector's birthday. He has no idea that I'm recording this right now. I don't even have the mics set up because I don't know how. He's in charge of that. But I'm super excited. He thinks that we're going to be recording something completely different later today. But actually, I have a little surprise plan for him, and I have a little special gift. So stay tuned and make sure to drop a happy birthday in the comments for Hector.
And I'm Hector, and today we're going to be talking about...
time for the birthday, bitch. 2 times for the birthday, bitch. 3 times for the birthday, bitch. Fuck it up, it's your birthday.
You gotta wear this today.
Oh, birthday, bitch.
And you gotta dance for us.
Oh, no. No way.
Oh, my gun broke. Oh. My gun broke! Oh, happy birthday, babe!
Thanks.
You're welcome. Did you have any idea?
No. Look at all this cash I got.
Damn, you would have more if my gun didn't break.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, every time I turn.
That's cool.
Yeah. Man, Amazon's not going to get a good review for this one. Damn. Oh, shit! I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, I'm gonna put the gun down. I'm gonna put the gun down.
You guys, this is our relationship literally all the time.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it hurts me.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, babe, happy birthday. I wanted to bring our viewers on here to celebrate with us. I actually have some interview questions that I want to go through with you so that our viewers can get to know you a little better. And I have a little special gift for you at the end.
Cool.
All right, so we're going to get into this, okay?
Okay.
First question that I want to ask you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're the guest to honor, baby. You got to get interviewed.
Okay.
All right, so the first question that I want you to answer for our people is about your mindset. How exactly did you develop the mindset that you have? Like, is this something that you feel like you've had your whole life? Is it something that you felt like you had to teach yourself? Tell us about it. How'd you develop that?
I would say both of my parents.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, both my parents always kind of gave me different ways to look at things. So I think that's just helped a lot. So every time I'm in any kind of situation, I'm always looking in like 3 different scenarios of why things happened or whatever, and then just reading a lot of books and playing sports, and I would say that.
That's cool. Like, you feel like they've all played a part in it,
Yeah.
a specific role.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What part of sports? I'm curious. I didn't play sports. I kind of wish I did. But what part of sports do you feel like played into your mindset?
Like communicating because it's a team. Well, I played a lot of team sports, so you had a team and you had to talk to everybody, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but you just had to, the communication, the leadership, and then I would say that's it, I think.
That's cool. Do you feel like because your parents kind of planted that seed and then it kind of slowly has been developed by other things throughout your life, like, do you feel like you always knew that you would end up in an entrepreneurial type role? Or do you feel like over time you realized that because of your mindset, that was the best fit for you?
No, I don't think that, like, I always knew. But it's kind of crazy because when I was a kid, I was like, so I've always kind of been like a little hustler, always
I'm a hustler, baby.
Always finding ways to make money. So when I was a kid, actually this was in 2nd grade. In 2nd grade, I used to make what are those what are those things called that you put in a book to hold your place?
Bookmarks?
There you go, bookmark. Wow. So I used to make bookmarks out of like paper, and I would just put like when like you were a kid and you would just draw something, or you would draw different colors on a white piece of paper, and then you would draw it all black, and then if you scratch it out, you could like see the colors that you originally did.
That's
So
cool.
I made bookmarks, and then like the kids at school, I would sell them to the kids at school. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then that was like in second grade, and then in like third and fourth grade, I don't know if I can legally say what I did, but
What was you selling?
I was selling CDs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
like burning your own CDs.
Yeah.
It's like it's okay. I think we all,
Yeah. Everybody did
participated in
Yeah,
that.
shout out LimeWire.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I used to sell those CDs. And then I used to cut grass too. I used to knock around like my street and ask people if like I could cut the grass, and then they would pay me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then I started DJing. So like I've always kind of found different ways to make money. So I don't think I actually knew until I actually started working a job and I hated it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, like there's got to be other ways,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is super cool that you that just kind of paved the way for you.
Yeah. So it is cool to look back at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because I think a lot of people don't know that there's other options. So it's kind of cool that you got the options, like you did that stuff, it paved a way for you, and then when you got into the working class, you kind of realized like, whoa, this is not cool. I'm going back to finding a bunch of different ways to make money so that I can kind of be free.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It is cool.
Usually it happens like the opposite way, so that's really neat.
True.
People usually get into the job, they realize they don't like it, and then they start asking themselves questions like, what else could I do besides this?
Mm-hmm.
So that's neat. Well, we got a true hustler on our hands. Just kidding. Let me see. What is one of the number one rules that you live by?
Number one rule. Everything happens for a reason.
I like that.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. You may not know it in like that moment or like that time, but it'll come back around and you'll just kind of figure it out and just be like, okay, like if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't have happened.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that you're right. Like a lot of times people don't know it in the moment, but then you start to kind of develop you start to develop that trust with God and the universe where it's like, now I know. Like you've had enough proof that now you just know that when things happen, you're like.
Yeah. And it's like also on like another way to look at it is kind of like, I think sometimes people get surprised when they don't get the results that they want, or we'll just look at it that way. But then like you kind of have to figure out, well, the reason that I didn't get the results that I wanted was because I didn't put the work that I needed to put in.
So you mean like sometimes it's not necessarily that it's not for you, it's that you didn't meet the standards to attain it. That's cool. Like taking responsibility for things.
Yeah.
That's a really good perspective. I think that a lot of times people, I mean, I've done it before too, where I'll just be like, well, it must have not been meant to be for me. But then it was like, nah, you could have just done better. you know?
Yeah.
Damn, I like that.
Thanks.
What is one of the core morals that you feel is a piece of you that really helps you like navigate problems in your life or through like hard seasons that you've gone through?
Damn.
It could be like a moral or a belief that you have. Maybe it can kind of play into what you just said about everything happens for a reason. I guess how have you like approached problems using those morals and beliefs?
I think that hopefully this answers the question, but I kind of going back to how I look at things in two different ways. So I would probably say like just to like think positive. I don't know, like think in a positive way. And I think that like a lot of people are like, you can't just always be positive. You can't just always be positive, but and like that doesn't work all the time. Like that's what they say, but I think that for me, it's like, damn, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I think um
Like
you
your
don't,
perspective?
yeah, like my perspective is like you don't know. So like let's say for example somebody does something to you, like you don't actually know if it was actually you that they were attacking.
Mm.
You know, like maybe they had a bad day and like it just came out to you. So like maybe don't take things personally.
Mm.
Like not everything is about you. It's could be something totally different.
That's really cool. I think one of the books that I love, and I know you've read it too, Four Agreements.
Yeah.
A whole chapter is dedicated to that whole point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Like that you cannot take things personally because every single person has a different experience. So like them taking their anger out on you or being mad at you could be a completely separate experience from you that they had, and it's just so happening to get directed towards you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of times it's so hard in those moments, and something that I really admire about him is that about you is that you have such this ability to just like keep your cool through everything. Like people cannot rattle him, stressful situations cannot really get him upset. He's like a stone statue. You're just like, yeah, like you never could know if you're mad or sad or angry or frustrated. You're just so good at keeping your composure. Like, do you find it, have you always been like that? Or is it just one of those things that like you've kind of learned to do? Or is it that you're processing kind of some of those things that you said in your head? Like, what could the other perspective be that this is happening? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's that I'm trying to figure things out and like trying to think like, should I take this personally? Should I not take this personally? Or also like, um, I don't want things to control me.
Hmm.
So like, if something, again, if somebody says something to you, like, am I going to allow that person to control the way that I feel? Or if somebody does something bad to you, like, am I going to allow them to change me and
Mm.
take something away from me?
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
So that's why. So like, I want to be in control as much as possible about how I feel, and then not let the outside mess up what's happening on the inside.
Wow. That's really powerful. I feel like that's something that is really hard to conquer, but really is like the key to life.
Mm-hmm.
Like learning that skill is so hard. So, yeah, I just admire that about you. So I'm happy that I am. It's cool. I'm a girl, so sometimes, we can tend to get a little crazy sometimes. Or, you're a little hungry and, you might, have a
Yeah.
little tone to your voice that you didn't
Yeah.
mean to have. But yeah, so that's something that I'm always studying about him. And every time there's conflict, I study that. And I'm just like, wow, like, look at his behavior, look how he's just so cool, calm, and collective. And yeah, so I'm glad that we got to touch on that.
Yeah.
What would you say is your biggest lesson? So he's 28 today. What is your biggest lesson up to this age? Like, what's the biggest thing that you've learned? Maybe something that you've gone through that really taught you a lesson that, was pretty profound in your life that you might not have, like, learned until something pretty serious happened, I guess.
Mm. Dang, I don't have anything like too deep, but just that anything is possible. Like anything that you want to do in life, like you can do it. And I'd say that's it. Like that's my biggest lesson. And I think it's really like I think a lot of people say it, but they don't actually believe it, and I like just truly believe that.
What do you feel like is something that you did that you didn't believe that you could do, and once you did it, it really made that like lesson true for you? Like what turning point in your life was like, wow, now I could really see like anything is possible for me? What unlocked that?
I think just looking back at my goals that I've had and just realizing that I've accomplished them. Like
Mm.
anything that I've really put my mind to, like I've been able to do. So, but sometimes we just don't believe it because maybe it didn't happen in the scenario that you imagined it in. But when you look back at your goals, you're just kind of like, wow, like I've actually crossed this off, I crossed this off, and I crossed that off. It, I just didn't realize it because I had an idea in my head of how it was going to happen, but it still happened, just not that way.
Hmm. I like that's pretty cool because what do you feel? I think a lot of times there's a fine line. I think there's that side of like you need to take control of your circumstances and you need to create the life that you want, and then there's that line that kind of divides it, and then there's always that saying like kind of like you said, you touched on it, that it's like we have all these ideas and plans in our head, and when it doesn't go our way, or like when kind of like God is blessing us with that and we don't even realize it's happening,
Yeah.
like sometimes we even block our own blessings because it's not the idea that we specifically had. So like
That's a good way.
what is the difference between that? Like where do you think the line gets drawn in between that, or where like the balance is between those two thought processes?
Hmm. Like, what do you mean? Can you?
Like, for instance, where do you think the two meet? Like, you either create your own life or kind of things are happening for you by the universe.
Hmm. Hmm. Maybe just action.
Mm.
Like the actions that you take, if you're consistently taking actions on um, what the goal is, uh, it'll come and it'll show, like it'll come into light.
Mm.
You know, it'll just happen because you've consistently been working at it. It's like if you go to the gym, like if you consistently just go to the gym, like you're gonna get fit, and especially if you're eating healthy with it too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it does. Like, you just keep putting the work and having the faith to back it up.
Yeah,
like, I have
executing.
faith that if I keep doing this, like, it's going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, like you said, it might not always be the thing that you thought, but something good is going to come.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's cool. What is one of the biggest piece of advice that you would give to younger people watching?
Never stop dreaming.
Mm.
Yeah, never stop dreaming. Which kind of goes back to like anything is possible. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I would say those two.
That's cool. When you say never stop dreaming, I want to touch on that a little bit because I think a lot of times people's environments play a role and a part in how far their vision is for themselves.
Yeah.
So talk about vision a little bit for us. When you say that, how can you give people advice? Like, let's say someone's in a really tough situation. Let's say, to them, this is just life. It sucks. And like, there's not much for me. Like, play a little bit on how their vision can change that for them.
Not sure. I get your question. I'm just trying to think of how to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that obviously if you have a vision, like you know what you're reaching for, right? So I believe that everything that you need to really get you to that next level that you need to get close to the goal, you already have. Like, I think you already have everything you need, and it's just a matter of using those things to get you to the next level, and then and maybe I'd say that's it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I think it's good just, that people know, like, you can create that vision for yourself. Like, sometimes we're so limited to, we're just taught that you work a job, you're poor, like paycheck to paycheck. We're content with a little tiny house, and like that's supposed to just be normal to us because that's all we've been exposed to. So like painting that vision is so important, like for ourselves, where it's like, no, I don't have to live like this. Like, I imagine myself, walking up to this big, beautiful house or walking on the beach and whatever.
Yeah.
If you have a dream car, if you have a dream job, a dream charity work, whatever, like being able to imagine yourself doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I forgot where we saw this, but they talk about how vision and sight get confused a lot. Sight is more so of like what you see and like what's in front of you, and vision is what you could see with your eyes closed.
That's powerful.
Yeah, still.
Damn. Yeah. Well, one other thing. So Hector actually has a clothing brand that he started a couple years ago. So why don't you touch on that? Tell us about your clothing brand. What made you want to start that, and what plans you have for that in the next coming year?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I did start my clothing brand March 2020, literally right before COVID. It's crazy, and then so it's called Color, but it's spelled K. Like upside down E L upside down E R. So it's the phonetic spelling of the actual word color. But phonetic spelling is, when like you have you were in school and there was a word that you can pronounce, and then like they had it spelled differently for you so that you can actually pronounce it. Well, that's the way that I spelled my brand, but with the word color. And really, it's just for unity. So a lot of times, colors are used to separate each other, like in politics, gangs, and even race. All that colors are used to separate each other, and really, colors are they're really nice. They make things look better all the time. So I just wanted to create something for unity and to use all the colors for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
I should have worn my color shirt today.
Yeah, we'll wear them. We'll wear them. They'll be on.
Well, what do you got planned for us? What are you dropping?
Yeah, so I've been wanting to build a website for a long time. So the website's gonna be built probably like it should be built by next year. And then there's gonna be new clothes too. And
you don't want to tell us, huh?
Nah, I can't. Yeah, there's gonna be like hats. There's gonna be sweaters, maybe some pants, just a bunch of different stuff. It's still like new to me, so I'm still really trying to figure out in which direction I want to take it. Like what kind of designs or what kind of clothing I want. There's like so many types. It's like you can do streetwear, you can do gym clothes, you can do like more formal. There's just so many ways, and what kind of style. There's a bunch of different styles. So just trying to figure that out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think was the hardest part of starting a business? Like, I mean, obviously, like with entrepreneurship and business in general, it goes through phases. And speaking from experience, the first stage is kind of like that excitement stage. You're like, hell yeah, I got this cool thing that I'm going to do. And then you do it. And then you move into phase 2 where you're kind of like, okay, holy shit. Like, this is not how that little dream thing that I dreamt of. There's a lot of like process and procedures things that go along with business. There's a lot of scaling parts that go along with it. Like, what do you think has been the hardest part for you with starting up a business?
Probably just starting. Like actually doing all the research that you need to do. So like, where do I get an LLC, or like you just don't know what to ask sometimes. I think that's the hardest part because you're still trying to figure it all out, so you don't know where to start. So I think that like that's why a lot of times I try to get mentors for certain businesses that I'm in, so people that have already succeeded in that business. So yeah, I think that's the hardest part. That way you can ask questions. But yeah.
And cut the learning curve tremendously with a mentor. Like, it's so funny when people say, like, why do you have a mentor? And I'm like, why wouldn't I have a mentor? Like, I wish I got mentors years and years ago because why would you not go to someone who's a pro at what they do and just tell them, all right, just tell me how to get there. I'm going to be coachable. I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have the same results as them.
Yeah.
A lot of time people are so stuck on this like I did it myself type mentality, or like they want this like
self-made.
Yeah, this self-made story, and it's like then a lot of times you don't even get there because you don't, like you said, you don't even know what to do or what to ask or how to not get in trouble because there's so much legal stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, that's like ego. Like your ego kind of gets in the way of you. You want this story like so bad that like you let your ego get in the way, and then you make your life so much harder because you just want that story. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it'll handicap you for sure.
Damn. Do you feel like you've ever struggled with ego? And if so, like how could you give some advice to people who do maybe struggle with that and how they can kind of help keep that in check when they're in like the decision making process?
I mean, I think we all have an ego, you know. I think your ego can be good and bad. You know, I think you need that ego to push you to feel like you're capable of doing it, you know. But how do I work on my ego? I think I just have to take a step back and just really figure out why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and just be like, okay, is it because I just want this, or is it just like gonna benefit everyone? Is it for the people, or you know? I think I care a lot about people, so I just want to take care of people, and I just want to make sure that like I'm not being selfish with things, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that taking a step back part is what's usually the hardest.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you don't even know that you're in that ego state until like you take a step back, or like the situation has blown over, and then you can look at it and you're like, damn. Yeah. I was really acting out of ego.
Yeah. Yeah. And being a good listener too. Like, let's say if maybe I was doing something to I don't want to say it to you. That sounds really bad. But like maybe my ego got in the way of a conversation we were having or something. Like I think that I'm willing to be like admit that I'm wrong. If like you tell me you're like you did this and that, and I'm like, oh okay, like dang, you're right, I did. You know, that's not true, but it's just an example.
Yeah. No, that is good. That is good. I like what you said about listening. One of my favorite quotes is when they say, you were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, because you should be listening 2 times as much as you're talking.
Ooh, I like that.
So.
Yeah, and then I think taking the step back is helpful because, well, I guess it depends on the scenario, but taking a step back can just help you in many other things. Like before you respond to anybody, before you, I guess, say anything, it can help you because you can respond better. Like you can look at things just better and from different perspectives. That's why a lot of times when me and you talk, or like you'll ask me a question, like I'm just kind of like thinking. I'm just thinking because I want to give you the best response that I can. Yeah. You know?
I gotta work on that. No, I'm very too. Much like, so you got an answer for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I gotta be better at letting you know that I'm thinking.
Yeah, true. That's okay.
Yeah.
What is one of the mentors that you have now, currently in your life, or within like the last year? Who would you say is someone that like is a mentor that has played like a big role in your life that you still seek advice from, and why?
Dang.
Are you like, don't want to name just one?
Yeah, there's so many.
Well, name the top 3.
I'm gonna count my parents as like one.
Okay.
My parents, I think that they do help me with like, they've helped me a lot, like just develop as a person. So I would say with them, and they help me. My parents are a big reason why I believe I can do anything. You know, they've always been supportive of everything that I've wanted to do. Um, and then Tim, Mike, and Nancy.
I was thinking them too.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out, guys.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Yeah, no, they obviously they have a lot of the results that I want. They live their life, you know, similar to what I want. So they've been able to open my mind up a lot and really they've put me on to other people too. I think that's key too. That like your mentors put you on to other people that can help you.
Mm.
Yeah,
That was actually that was going to be my next thing to touch on.
Oh.
That like they each have different strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, do you think it's important to have just one mentor or find different mentors for different areas of your life?
Yeah, no, definitely have more than one mentor. Definitely, because yeah, so like Tim is really system oriented, you know, and he's really good with systems and uh, finding out how they can help you and make your life easier. So you know, that's like his area that I like to pick at. Mike is very Mike and Nancy, I think, are very like spiritual, and they're very also like calm and trying to analyze the situations. I feel like too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, more than one mentor is definitely good. Like
Yeah.
maybe just find what you like about um, certain people, ask them to be your mentor, and then like try to figure that part out about them. How are they so good at that? And then like tap into that with them.
You mean like finding someone who kind of has what you want.
Yeah.
Find someone that you admire, that they have skills that you wish you could acquire.
Yeah.
And then that's good.
Yeah, you're one of them too.
I'm your mentor?
Yeah. Like
what up? Thanks, babe. I'm just kidding.
No, I admire the fact that you always like just instantly take action on things. You know, and like I feel like that's something I need to work on, or I need to work on, because sometimes I like to sit down and think about what I'm going to do when I could have just done something already. You know, like that would be what you would do. You know, so, and sometimes you call me out too, so that's helpful. You're like, we just need to do it. I'm like, damn, you're right. Okay, let's get up and do it. Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think that same thing. You know, people are going to, as you even reach different levels in life, different people are going to serve that level of you differently. Mm-hmm. So they're going to keep kind of honing that. And I think what else is important in a mentor is finding mentors that know that they still need to consistently learn and grow. And I think that's what I love so much about Mike, Tim, and Nancy is like, they're always so humble enough to say like, no, I'm still learning and growing too. Like, and that's what drives me to keep doing it, because I'm like, well, if Mike, Tim, and Nancy have what they have and get to live like they live, and they still feel like they consistently need to be like, you know, prioritizing personal development and growth and like just studying themselves and all that, like, how the hell could we say we don't?
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. It's cool to see that. Like, it's cool to see that our mentors have mentors too.
Yeah. And that they get to just like pass and funnel that on to other people. And I think that's important too for people to know, like, you are going to be responsible for mentoring others. Like, everyone has a different influence over people. Mm-hmm. So like, I think a lot of times people don't even know that they have that power in them, but it's like, they might think that they have like these flaws and they can't mentor people, but that flaw is going to be how they're able to connect with specific groups and like have influence over a specific group because of that bad thing that they've done or that they've been through, or, you know, they might be so ashamed of. And it's like, no, that's actually your power. That you're going to be able to impact people that others who don't have that thing would not.
Yeah. Damn. That's true. Mm-hmm. That's facts. Yeah, I think like another one that's like really good and that we all have is just like life. Like, if you look at everything that's happening in the world, you can look at everything as like a lesson. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like
Okay.
elaborate for us though.
So like, damn. The only one I could think of like right now is like, COVID. You know,
Mhm.
like obviously, it's sad that like some people lost people, in their families. But I think that it also helped people realize that they had to take a step back and just kind of analyze, like, wow, like I haven't actually been able to spend time with my family because
Mm.
I'm always working, or I haven't, or what do I do with my time? Because I don't know. It's usually scheduled for me.
Oh damn.
So like I like to look at scenarios like that and be like, okay, what can I learn from this?
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, COVID was a big one. It really forced people to pivot
Mm-hmm.
in their life, and even a lot of people find ways like, well, if this were to happen and I lost my job that instantly, like how would I survive? How would I make money? I seen like a lot of people during this time just popping up with like little businesses
That's
and
cool. That was
hustles,
cool
and I'm
about
like,
it.
oh snap, that's cool. People that you would have never knew like even had any special talent. They just came out of the woodwork and now they're running businesses.
Yeah, I thought that was cool to see people like tap into like their creativity. Thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, birthday boy, I just want to say I appreciate you. I'm so thankful for everything that you do for us, and you're so good. You're so like you deserve the best. So I have a little gift for you, and I wanted you to open it up with our fans here. Do we have fans yet?
We got them all. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for answering these questions. Thank you for just sharing a little bit about yourself with the people.
Sure. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, don't worry. I'll play your birthday song while you open that. Oh, it's not connected. Oh, well. You gotta dance for us.
Pack your bags. We want to Santa Monica. Yay! Let's go. That's awesome. I'm excited. I always wanted this couch, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna go to California, guys. I'm gonna take Hector. It's already booked. We're going, baby. December 3rd.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Stay tuned, guys. We're going to do a little vlog for you. We're going to take you on a little trip to Santa Monica with us. And, thank you guys for tuning in for Hector's birthday. It's very special to me that he, gets treated like a king. And make sure to drop in the comments, happy birthday for Hector. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.